I'm not a lawyer. We're just going to read some articles and we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Let me come to the stage. There I go. Here I go. Come on with it. Come on with it. I got something to read. Entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. Let me go ahead and drag this on over here right here. So we can go ahead and put this out in the atmosphere. The Brian Flores versus the National Football League case just gained momentum. Brian Flores sued the NFL in 2017, if my year is correct, for illegal hiring and discrimination practices, violations of Title 42 of the United States Code. The landscape of the National Football League is shifting and is happening right before our eyes. In this deep dive, we're asking a hard question. Did Shedeur Sanders accelerate this process? In this case, for Brian Flores. You already know my answer, investors. They know my answers. This group know my answers. I know my answers. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that Shedeur Sanders and the collusion and everything that he experienced last year just accelerate this case. If you don't know, hold on. Let me go and get these slides up here. If you don't know, I'm going to say about 48 hours ago, there was a massive update in the Brian Flores case. I also believe for when what team was that? The New England Patriots, when they fired Jerod Mayo last January 2025, I think that also accelerated the Brian Flores case, y'all. We're going to talk about some elements of the filing. We also going to talk about what came out 24 hours ago. First, it started with 6 teams, 3 or 6 teams. Now 25 NFL teams have been subpoenaed. So this is not your normal schedule. This is not your normal topic. We're going to talk about some legal stuff over here. So investors, I understand if you want to go ahead and flip to another channel, but it's up to you. But I really think Shedeur Sanders accelerated this case. Because you know why I say that? I'm going to tell you why. Hold on. Let me go and get these slides up here. Let me tell you one. There is a podcaster. Can you really call him that? I say he's really a journalist. If you never heard of Roland Martin, yes, the Roland Martin, he has his own channel. I did some digging today, and come to find out, he also reported on Brian Flores' case 4 years ago, y'all. So, yeah, I got some clips of that too. Let me go ahead and pull these slides up here, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you long, but I'm gonna hold you right. Go ahead and put these up here. Let me go and see who's already in the chat. Let me go ahead, y'all. I also did some digging just to see about what other teams have been called out in the lawsuit, because 25 teams have been subpoenaed, right? And Brian Flores' lawyer has also called for 1,000 documents. 1,000 documents has been requested to turn over to his lawyer to support this case. The DOJ is sniffing around allegedly in the NFL. We already know that the Department of Justice is also going after the NFL for all of these anti-pricing laws, antitrust laws. We already know this. But like I told you weeks ago, when that case came out, there's no way that the NFL is not investigating this case, the Shedeur Sanders case, and all of the other cases against the NFL. Y'all, the NFL is $250 billion. Yes, 200 worth, I think, worth $300 billion. So that's $250 billion. They're going to pay out something. And with this Brian Flores case moving forward, this case, I think, is going to be so big once all of this comes out. Because guess what? In order for Brian Flores judge to even request or subpoena these teams, that means a judge has approved it. A judge has approved it. So that means that there's some hard evidence that came out. And whatever you want to call it, I'm not a lawyer. But I think this case is going to be so big that even big podcasters like Tasha K is going to pick this thing up. And believe it or not, I think it's going to be so much dirt come out in discovery, or maybe even before discovery, it's going to be a settlement. I would not be surprised if the NFL settles with Brian Flores before they turn over any documents. They're just going to sweep it under the rug. My opinion, possibility. Because do you know what may come out in those emails unintentionally? And if something comes out in those emails unintentionally, that means, oh man, another case could stem up from this particular case. If something comes out accidentally, that is also a violation of anybody's this fair treatment, job opportunity, draft collusions, and all the other stuff. I can't say too much here. I'm gonna be doing it behind the scenes, but y'all know where I'm going at. Let me go ahead and say who's in here. And then I'm gonna begin with Roland Martin, what he said 4 years ago. I'm gonna play 6 minutes of that video. Then there's a second video I'm gonna play from Roland Martin where, get this, 3 years ago, based off the timestamp of Roland Martin's video, the request was denied for discovery. Yes. So when I asked the question, was Shedeur Sanders the key to the Brian Flores lawsuit? That's why I say yes. Let me go ahead. Let's see here. What's up, 420? Good evening, everybody. It's about to get dangerous. Legally dangerous. The NFL. I'm gonna hold that one. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that thought. What's up, Peter Supernatural? What's up, MSD? Miss Tony and chat. Yes. Justine. What's going on with you? Peter Supernatural. Yo, you hit me at twice. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Lady E? Yes, and we are vested up after what happened on the field today. I'ma say that for tomorrow. I did see some things on the field, but because I said I was gonna bring this information out, I'm gonna bring this information out. If I got some time, we'll talk about that. But yeah, today was a long day at work. That's what I'm saying. Okay, this is okay. Oh, this is gonna be nice. Yes, I have listened to as well about this. Okay, the National Freemasonry League, House of Frauds. It's all started when they fired him because he didn't want Tua. Who didn't want Tua? Oh, Brian Flores when he was down in Miami. Brian Flores, and you're gonna hear, and it's also in the lawsuit. Flores versus the NFL. Well, you'll hear, but he got offered $1,000 per game. It's in the lawsuit to throw the game, to lose the game, so they can go, so they can draft higher or draft lower, higher in the draft. They want their first round pick. What's going on? Run, tell that series. Go ahead. What's up, Lady PC67? Haven't seen you in a while. I'm so glad you're doing well. Oh, here she go. What's going on, Blind Beauty? Big time. What's going on? Run, tell that. What's going on? Run, tell that. Yes. What's up, CJ? Hello, Tony in the chat. Listen. Touch not my anointed. That's right, Blank Alice. Hey, I'm glad you caught a lie. Listen, it all stemmed from Shedeur Sanders. Let me pose this question before I get these audio clips right. Look at what has all came out in a year. Shedeur Sanders this time was still in OTAs, right? He hadn't even started playing. Look at all that has come out in the NFL. I personally believe, in chat, I want you to put your answer in the chat. Do you think if the NFL knew all of this was going to be exposed in 2026, do you think they would have went ahead and drafted Shedeur Sanders in 2025 just to do right? Or do you think they still would have colluded against Shedeur Sanders no matter what came out about him? Hey, once again, do you think The NFL, if they knew all this was going to be exposed, and we haven't even touched 1% of probably what's going to be exposed. Do you think they still would have colluded against Shedeur Sanders to send a message to the Sanders family? Or do you think they regret on messing with Shedeur Sanders because everything has been exposed? More people has eyes on the NFL. More people like myself, we are popped up with channels and we digging through their trash cans. Listen, also with Shedeur Sanders, isn't it ironic? And it's only been like maybe three or 4 years that the NFLPA was able to release report cards on each team. But the same year that Shedeur Sanders get drafted and they colluded against him is the same year they file a grievance against the NFLPA so that no more report cards come out. Touch not my anointing. Yes, things would have changed. Things are changing now. Wouldn't he do it? They still have colluded. Oh, you think they still would have colluded just to get back at? Well, we ain't even at the end of this case. We don't know what the outcome of this case is. But right now, that means that the Department of Justice is knocking at their door, already entered their door. And now 25 teams, 25 of 32 teams have been subpoenaed. You might as well say that's what, 85, 88% of the NFL. And who knows if they start looking through these files and these records and these emails, who knows the other remaining, 8 teams or 7 teams may get dragged into it. That means that all of the NFL teams may have to get compensation to Brian Flores and any other black head coach, black quarterback, anybody that has been impacted by the NFL illegal hiring practices and discrimination practices. This thing is real. And you can't tell me Shedeur Sanders definitely has a case if he want to pursue it. Let's see here. I wonder if Flores and the other guy who is suing for $100 million is exposing what's really going on because the court's decision allowed the fence. That's right. That's right. I'm surprised it's only for $100 million. I'm surprised it's for $100 million. I need to see if Brian Flores can increase the amount that he's looking for in punitive damages. Because if this was filed in 2017 or 2021, hey, cost of living has went up. Hint, hint. And I know he's been stressed out. He's been frustrated. Golly, I want to say so much. Even those no boundaries, go ahead and run tell that. Yes, I think they expected to get away with it. So you saying you think that they probably still would have went on ahead and colluded against Shedeur Sanders? Whoo! My. What's going on, Selma? What's up? I'm vested up. You better stay vested up too. Go ahead and get your nose, your drink, and your vest. Come on with it. They would have drafted him and not let him play. Ooh, that's hey, that's pretty good. You're right. If the NFL could look into the future and say, hey, if we mess up Shedeur Sanders, all these extra eyes is going to happen. This is going to happen. It's going to be like a domino effect. You're right. They probably would have do what they're going to do in Los Angeles Rams with Ty Simpson, drafting first round. Hey, good idea, Blank Alice. Drafting first round and sit him on the bench. God, that's another way to look at it. But they are egotistical. Who knows? You know what? It could be 50-50. I even could probably see them, if they know that all this was going to be exposed, they probably, even right now, they're probably thinking that nothing's going to come out of the case. But let me tell you one thing. When it comes to subpoenas, and when it comes to the judge approving the process of discovery, you know what it is? If you've never been through a lawsuit before, by law, you have to turn over everything. This is why I think at this point, the NFL may have been put on notice. Now they know it's serious. And before exposing things that we may not even know of, because like I said, when they turn over everything, it could be some things, because you got to turn over everything. You can't remove nothing. You can't edit nothing. You can't modify. You got to turn over. And they better not pull nothing out of those files. But what if turning over those thousands of documents that legally has to be turned over. What is this other evidence that leads to other crimes and violations in the NFL? This whole thing could fall down at the end of this case. That's why I believe they would probably settle out of court now that they know that it's real. Now that it know that it's real, and just know this is for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. I'm not a lawyer. It's entertainment purposes only. Hint, hint. Now, moving forward, I think they're going to settle. I really think they're going to settle. 25 teams. Now, let's say 24 of those teams get the memo. They actually send in the documentation. But what if one of those teams, because actually in the initial lawsuit, only 3 to 6 was listed. But you know what that means? That means, just like I said with the Shedeur Sanders and the Sanders, hey, just because you have filed a lawsuit, that doesn't mean you have to stop keeping record. So if his lawsuit started with 3 to 6 teams, how did it jump to 25? That means that his lawyer, legal team, they still was keeping notes. They still was watching to see the NFL. The NFL has been a very egotistical entity. They didn't think this was gonna go nowhere. That's why I think they about to settle. They about to settle. And guess what? I hope the NFLPA also is sued, because they are the ones that's supposed to be looking out for these players on and off the field. That is their mission statement. They care for the well-being of all players on and off the field. That's why I think this thing is going to get settled. Come on with it. Let's see here. Let's see it's going in chat. They have more NFL. Come on with it. And that's why. Why would you risk 1,000 documents? 1,000 documents. And guess what? Once they flip it through them pages, hold on, this right here. Hey, have we requested this? Guess what? They can file an amendment and say, hey, judge, hey, based off the evidence that we got, can we also request this? Because it's going to be supplemental to this evidence here. 1,000. Even if they, let's say, illegally scrubbed 99 or 999 pages, what if the page that somebody forgot to scrub busts this whole thing and it gets to the judge and gets to Brian Flores, a lawyer? What are we talking about? The NFL is on notice. And guess what? I'm going to show proof. To this title. I think Shedeur Sanders is the key for Brian Flores. Besides the O-line, all the O-line members and defensive line members telling Shedeur Sanders, thank you so much for showing the importance of our position. Brian Flores needs to, behind the scenes, pick up the phone and say, Shedeur Sanders, hey, young man, I'm sorry you went through this, but y'all already know where I'm going. Brian Flores. I'm going to stay right there. Hold on. Remember Trump spoke on Shedeur Sanders? Thank you. One of my friends was talking and she was like, I don't think that I said, well, hold on now. I said, you remember when Shedeur Sanders was still waiting to get called? Didn't President Trump pick up the phone Didn't President Trump went on Twitter or whatever and said the NFL is stupid? Why is he hasn't been picked up? And what? He was picked up soon after that, right? And she was like, I don't think it's going to go further. I said, the Department of Justice has already opened the case. It's already opened the case. It's moving forward. The only way it don't get to actually the litigations of the courtroom, they going to settle out of court. If not, oh my gosh, content creators. Oh, they're going to eat this up. My thing is, I don't know why a lot of people haven't picked this story up anyway, but hey, you already know I got my vest on. You already know what I got in my vest. Hey, I'm picking it up and I'm running with it. I'll go ahead and do it. I don't think they wanted to draft him at all. He was too good not to draft. They definitely would. Oh man. Oh, listen, let me tell you what, Lady PC 67. Let me tell you one thing. If they didn't pick up Shedeur Sanders last year, the Sanders versus the NFL case would have been hot just like this one. Oh, they would have filed an immediate lawsuit against the NFL. Shedeur Sanders didn't get picked up. He had too many accolades. Too many people was what? Oh, but thank you for that. Black Diamond, what's going on, Black Diamond? The 2026 hiring cycle tied an NFL record with 10 head coaches vacancies. And this is another thing. You're right. This was another thing. And they saying that Rooney rule is just something that they play with just to go ahead and interview the minority candidates, just to say that they did a check mark and go ahead and bring in whoever they want to bring in. They say it's just something they got to do just for, what they call it, principle. You're going to hear Roland Martin read some of the lawsuit that Flores filed against the NFL, and they're going to say the same thing. They play behind the scenes. Everybody playing like they doing something right, and they ain't. What's up, Black Diamond? The 2026 hiring cycle tied an NFL record with 10 head coach vacancies, yet no black candidates were hired as head coaches during this period. Yes. And let me tell you one thing. I can't remember. I wish this was January or February when that cycle went on. I cannot remember if Brian Flores, I think he got interviewed, but they must have forgot that Brian Flores even had this case. No, what they probably was thinking that it never would have been granted for subpoenas to go through and for discovery. Like I said, for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. We just reading the articles. We just having a discussion over here. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying this is just entertainment purposes only. But I don't even think if Brian Flores did get interviewed, probably with just a handful of them. What you said, Justine, if the president hasn't stepped in and said, draft the kid, he's a good player as soon as he did, they said that, hold on, whoa, let me read this again. If the president hasn't stepped in and said, draft that kid, he's a good player as soon as he said that the Browns drafted him. That is right. Destin, what's going on, Destin? We ain't here got our suits and ties on. We talking about law today. NFL loves to backdate and play the settle game instead of admitting wrongdoing. That's what I'm saying too, man. And remember, you brought up Jerod Mayo. I was trying to figure out his name last night, and you put his name in there. Yeah, I got something about that too. It just the NFL don't know that the Shedeur Sanders collusion. Even this year, Ty Simpson drafted first round, Mendoza drafted first round, Carson Beck drafted before Taylor. Who else? They just let stuff kept piling up because they never thought this day would come, investors and viewers. They thought this day would never come. They just let stuff kept piling up. There's so much evidence. Forget $100 million. I gotta go see if it's possible to increase punitive damages. Because if so, the lawyer may request an increase in punitive damages. There's so much evidence. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Yeah. I think they're gonna settle. What's up, Mel? Hey. Roland Martin is actually political commentary on CNN. Well, is he still on CNN? Because I remember one. Now he calls himself a journalist. He calls himself a journalist, okay? But I know he was on CNN, but didn't he also get fired? That's when he started his own show, the Roland Martin Show. What's up, Evelyn? What's going on, Evelyn? What's up, Tawana Blue? Come on with it. Let me go ahead. Coach Prime was going to sue the NFL. The NFL does not want that smoke. Investors, it is a no way near over. You right, it just started. On a scale of 1 to 100, this is probably 0.00001. You mean to tell me the NFL, they got to deal with the Brian Flores case. They got to deal with the John Doe that filed their own lawsuit against the NFL for the Shedeur Sanders collusion. And then you got to deal with prices, the antitrust pricing scheme. And it's so much. And then you also got the DOJ probably coming in here investigating those Eddie files. The Eddie files. What if the investigation lead to release of the episode 5? I I just said the Eddie Fouls. Come on with it. Come on, 420. Come on with it. Black coaches allege racism hiring promotion practices, including sham interview. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Sham interviews and meant only to satisfy the. I just said that Black Diamond before I even got to your comment. That's right. Right now they're sneaking around the laws to force games to be available for public broadcasting to be closed online. What? Closed online? And they hold Fox, CBS, Netflix, ESPN, and YouTube hostage for billions. You know what? Hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this right here. Hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this right here. Hold on. Oh, we gonna talk about this, y'all. But I want to go ahead and bring up some historical information just to bring you up to today. I know I can't access the games anymore. That should be free, but even we over here in the United States, because you're in Brazil, even we couldn't get some of the games. We had to pay to see the games. And even now, the NFL, they're charging $480. What, on YouTube, I think, for Sunday ticket? And I still may not even get all the games. I'm trying to tell you, this is crazy. I know I can't access the games anymore. That should be free, but it's now behind paywalls, peacocks. Yes! Where are the free games? They don't exist no more. And that's why I think the Department of Justice, that used that little piece that the NFL thought was minor to open up the floodgates on everything. You mean to tell me, investors and viewers, for real, let's use common sense. Do you think the do you think the Department of Justice would use or utilize taxpayers' money just to come talk to the NFL about pricing, platforms, free games versus games behind paywalls? Do you really think they would waste a full federal investigation just on prices? Even though it is important because it hit our pockets and we're stakeholders. But do you think the Department of Justice would only waste their time for this? Pricing? Games? Nah. Look at the timing, y'all. I think that just came out before the draft. So we're going to say the second week of April. This information just came out 48 hours ago, 72 hours ago. You mean to tell me what? Maybe 45 days now, all of a sudden, Brian Flores' case has gained traction and it goes from 6 to 8 teams, 3 to 6 to 8 teams to 25 teams being subpoenaed? What? Nah, they moving fast. Yes, he did, and he was picked up. Let's see here. Trump is a fan of Coach Prime. Yes, he is. The minority law is also unconstitutional and racist because they're not giving enough people real shots. No. This is exactly what it was. Tony, come on with it. Evelyn, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Jaden, and let's not forget the Colin Kaepernick thing. Russell Wilson, Jaden Hurts, guaranteed contract was denied, is where it started. And also, they said because of the Deshaun Watson contract, all that money was guaranteed. That's why they also said that other quarterbacks, and makes them say any other player in the NFL, that's where they did it with 100% guaranteed contracts. Oh, they said no. And they said that was illegal. And I believe it was. Deshaun Watson, if he got $230 million guaranteed, what they got to do with Hurts? What they got to do with Lamar? What they got to do with Shedeur? What they got to do with any other player? Oh my God, this thing finna be juicy, y'all. This thing finna be juicy. Jimmy Haslem has sold half the team. He has many looks. Y'all, the NFL knows Jimmy Haslem very well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a video. I'm gonna say in November. The FBI know Jimmy Haslem's number. That's why I'm also riding with this case. The FBI, and let me tell you one thing. If the DOJ is sniffing, you cannot tell me that the FBI is not also coming right here. They looking over the shoulder. Jimmy Haslem. And y'all, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you before I go ahead and read this article and play this audio clip. I looked. Why can't I find all the 25 teams that was named? in the lawsuit. And you know I looked for the Cleveland Browns. I definitely did look for the Cleveland Browns. They only released about 6 to 8 teams' names. I even looked for the Atlanta Falcons. So hold on. So you mean to tell me Jerod Mayo, okay, that was more evidence to support the case. And guess who else have probably also said, hey, here's some more evidence you may need. What's his name? Oh gosh, his name just skipped. Raheem Morris. Remember, he had a better winning record than Kevin Stefanski, and they fired him. And you bring in Kevin Stefanski, and I gave you a 500 winning record for 2 seasons straight. My winning record was better than Kevin Stefanski. You fired me to hire somebody else with a losing record? What? That's just more evidence. They didn't see this coming. You can't tell me that the Cleveland Browns and Atlanta Falcons name is not listed in that subpoena. They just haven't released that to the public. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what other teams are listed. I'm gonna stop right here. Let me go in and play this right here. Come on to the stage. Here we go. These are the 2 thumbnails for Roland Martin. One is dated 4 years. One is dated 3 years. Do you see the title of the one dated 3 years ago? Brian Flores, motion for discovery in NFL discrimination lawsuit denied. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. So how did it get legs in 2026? How did it get legs in 2026? Actually, I believe it got legs in 2025 when Shedeur Sanders slid down, and as Black Diamond stated, 10 vacant head coaches position and not one black coach hired. The same thing this year. It was so bad that even Skip Bayless spoke out against it. Why they not hiring black coaches? Why they not hiring black coaches? And in terms of GMs, besides Andrew Berry and his brother in Philly, what other black GMs do you know? Why these clips are playing, I'm going to be doing some research why these clips are playing. But listen, let me go and play this right here. This is 6 minutes. This is 6 minutes of systematic racism in the NFL. And Roland Martin is going to sum this thing up right. Then I'm going to come back to the chat. Let me go ahead and turn down this music. Ooh, entertainment purposes only, even though it's a federal lawsuit, but you know what I mean. Let me go ahead and play this right here. I think they go settle. Because if they accidentally release some information that shouldn't have been released, that is grounds for another lawsuit. And it's going to be ugly. Here we go.
What you have on the screen? Explosive.
Come on, Roland Martin. Fair use. And I got to play the music so I don't get a copyright, okay? And I can't play the video because I heard from a big YouTuber, do not play videos, just do audio clips. They can't copyright it. So just bear with me. Come on, Roland. But y'all see the thumbnails.
The lawsuit came down a couple of hours ago. Brian Flores, who was fired late last year as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, dropped a discrimination lawsuit against the National Football League. In this 58-page lawsuit, he says that the NFL is practicing racism against black coaches, conducting sham interviews with these black coaches. He specifically calls out 3 NFL teams for their actions. Not only that, in his lawsuit, he claims that Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, offered to pay him $100,000 for every game the Dolphins lost to essentially tank to improve their draft position. In this lawsuit, he says that when he began to win late in the season, he began to find out that Ross was miffed at him and angry at him. He also claims that Ross wanted him to recruit a top quality quarterback, which was against the NFL rules. It was tampering. Flores says he refused to do so. Folks, in this lawsuit filed in Manhattan federal court, he also claims that when he interviewed with the Denver Broncos, at the Denver Broncos brass, including Hall of Famer John Elway, who runs personnel for the team, came to the meeting an hour late, and they all admitted they were hungover because they'd been drinking the previous night. He also blasted the New York Giants for giving him a sham interview.
There it is.
In his lawsuit, text messages between him and Bill Belichick, his former coach at the New England Patriots, where Flores used to be on staff, where he says that Belichick told him that word out of Buffalo and New York that Brian was the guy. But he texted him back, it was the other Brian who was hired by the Giants and not Brian Flores. And then Belichick said, sorry, I effed this up, double checked and misread the text. I think they are naming Brian Dable. I'm sorry about that. And again, he blasted them. So he's specifically blasting the Giants, the Dolphins, and the Broncos. The Giants say they are pleased with the process, pleased and confident with their process. They say that Brian Flores was a candidate up until the 11th hour. But he's saying no. This is again a huge interview. Now the Broncos, they claim the interview with Brian Flores lasted 3.5 hours and was conducted by 5 team executives. This is the statement that they sent. It's on ESPN. Pages of detailed notes, analysis, and evaluations from our interview demonstrate the depth of our conversation and sincere interest in Mr. Flores as a head coaching candidate. Our process was thorough and fair to determine the most qualified candidate for our head coaching position. The Broncos will vigorously defend the integrity and values of our organization and its employees from such baseless and disparaging claims. Of course, and then, of course, Denver, they hired Vic Fangio for the job. And so the law firm he's working with, Wigdor Law LLP, they say they want this lawsuit to, quote, shine a light on the racial injustices that take place inside the NFL. There are a number of things that Flores wants to see happen, which include increased influences of Black individuals in hiring, increase the objectivity of hiring and terminating GMs, head coaches, and coordinators, increasing the number of Black coordinators, also incentivizing the hiring and retention of Black coaches and GMs and coordinators, transparency of pay for GMs, head coaches, and coordinators, and other issues as well, and it seeks unspecified damages from the NFL. This is a significant lawsuit, DeMario, because first off, there are 4 positions still available. One of them, of course, Miami Dolphins, where he was fired from. There are 3 other head coaching jobs that are still available. Houston Texans, where Brian Flores was interviewed, Jacksonville Jaguars, Minnesota Vikings. And so
now we already know this video came out 4 years ago. And we already know that Brian Flores didn't even get one of those jobs. Matter of fact, Brian Flores has never received a head coaching job, right? I think now he's on the Minnesota Vikings as a defensive coordinator. All right, so let me read this right here. And then I'm going to play this second video showing that where his first motion for discovery was denied. So y'all investors and viewers think, what was the difference between his motion for discovery 3 years ago and his motion for discovery last year? And if anything besides Shedeur Sanders come up to your mind, please put it in the chat, because I would definitely go Google and find out what that factor was. All right, so here it says the filing. Okay, so the court filing does not identify which exact 25 NFL teams was subpoenaed by Brian Flores' legal teams. I've been looking for the last 72 hours. I can't find the whole entire list of 25 teams. All right, the subpoenas are part of his ongoing racial discrimination lawsuit against the league, but the specific list of 25 teams have not been publicly released in any reports. First of all, why is that? Why is that? You mean to tell me that you can't even release a list of 25 teams? Is it because we could probably go back and do our own homework and find out exactly what quarterbacks or what wide receivers, you know, I'm sticking on the quarterbacks for a reason, what quarterbacks, what wide receivers, who was drafted in the first round, who supposed to have been drafted in the first round? Is that because they don't want us to go do our own homework and come up with our own public opinion? I mean, even though we're public and we're citizens, we still should be able to form our own opinion. Okay, let me keep going. All right, the key details of the filing. What's happening? Once again, Flores attorneys served subpoenas to 25 teams along with more than 1,000 discovery requests. All right, so here's some of the responses, y'all. This is, as of now, this is the response. The NFL and 3 teams he is actively suing, Denver Broncos, Houston, Texas, and the New York Giants, have filed a motion describing the request as punishably overboard. They're saying that the subpoenas, just with the subpoenas alone, is punishment against the NFL, the Broncos, the Texans, and the Giants. So that's 1, 2, 3. You don't think that the other, that's 3. You don't think that the other 22 teams is going to follow suit? And why do they deem this as being punishable? Y'all, let's not forget the NFLPA. The NFL just won that grievance, maybe January or February this year. Once again, the NFL, they claim victim that these report cards should not be released to the public. Why they don't want us knowing what's going on behind the scenes when it's our young men, our brothers, our nephews, our cousins, that is the one that's employed by them? What are you hiding? NFL, what are you hiding? You don't want to see your report cards? But you want like I said, our family members to come play for you, but you don't want us to see what your locker room is? Y'all, listen. I think this thing is deep. I think this is going to be like a rabbit hole. Let me keep reading. So I got the date wrong. It is not 2017. The lawsuit, original filed in 2022. Flores, currently the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator. Let go scroll down. Alleges systematic racism and unfair hiring practices across the league. And I also think his lawsuit had something in there of like black quarterbacks. Let me go back to the chat right here. Let me go back to the chat right here. What's going on too, man? They thought they could blow off Shedeur Sanders. They got to be crazy. They can not. Yeah, no. And they really thought once Kevin Stefanski buried him that we definitely was going to walk away and say, okay, well, we can't change nothing. Oh, the NFL is going to do what it. No. When I saw in their collective bargaining agreement that they was an equal employment opportunity, I knew right then and there it was smoke. It was smoke. You cannot be declared as an equal employment opportunity and do the things that you're doing, especially regarding hiring practices, minorities, racial discrimination, racial hiring practices. What? Are you crazy? Are you serious? Oh my. Clear it up. There's an investigation by Justice Department at FCC because I have to pay it to see these games. Yes. And the price is more than. Yes. And if you got crazy practice, we're also paying crazy prices over here. I think, hey, let's go back to the old days. We didn't have to pay for no games. Why do we have to pay for games? And now, if you didn't catch the live last night, I think you did. Now the NFL, they want to include more games in the schedule around the holidays. They also force you to pay for games you don't want to see to get 1 or 2 games. Thank you. What's up, Destin? Destin said Florida Attorney General is trying to remove the Ronney rule. Wow. I bet Florida's on notice. I know they following this case here. That will allow them to choose not to give interviews or hire by color or sex because of their choice. The intended purpose of the Ronney rule was just to make sure that at least 2 minorities is interviewed. The reason why it became something, before the Ronney rule, there were no blacks or no minorities even being interviewed for these positions. So they threw in the Ronney rule and they still said, okay, well, hey, we got to interview. But it was just basically check the block. Check the block. If Brian Flores had sham interviews, that means everybody else that interviewed as a minority, if they didn't want them there, had sham interviews. Notice they didn't say anything about Shedeur being robbed when they caught suspects when he know it was an inside. We have talked about that behind the scenes. We talked about that behind the scenes, 420. We've talked about that behind the scenes. All viable corporations, wealthy individuals settle. That's why I think Brian Flores. I wonder if it's too late to change 100. This is just the beginning. No, DePodosta knows he was about to get caught, and that's another. That's another reason why he stepped down. Remember, from I heard a little birdie say that either Kevin Stefanski or Jimmy Haslem didn't know that Paul DePodosta was going to step down. He stepped down when Dillon Gabriel got concussed and Shedeur Sanders became the starter. That man stepped down immediately. I know them fouls dirty. You can't tell me them fouls in Cleveland is clean. Them fouls dirty, y'all. Even Jimmy is on notice. Denver is now having a coaching problem with Bo Nix and Sean Payton for making his medical record. Now, see that I agree with. All medical records is something called HIPAA law. You don't supposed to make nobody medical records public, not even your own. And so let's just say, so this is a thing. Let's say a loved one passed away. Some people would think that the medical records should be easily attained, right? No, HIPAA law even protects a person that has deceased. If you're not a power of attorney, you would not get those medical records. If you don't believe me, Google it. But I agree with that. Bo Nix's medical records should not have been made public. His medical records should just between him and the doctor and whoever he said can get access to his medical records. And I'm pretty sure the team doctor. But that's it. You don't make nobody public records public, private records public, especially medical. Already said he was intended to be read. That's that stupid stuff. We talked about that behind the scenes too, Mel. We don't talked about all this behind the scenes. Some of the there was a Gruden case that I was thinking like that. You can't tell me that the NFL, the DOJ is not also investigating Gruden case with the leaking of the private emails. Yes, authorized to be released. Yes. Exactly. Stefanski was at the bottom of the barrel according to his players and his record. C-. You mean that Atlanta is deaf? If Atlanta was not part of the case before Raheem Morris, they definitely there now. Raheem Morris last year on the NFL PA records for Atlanta had an A, or it was either was an A, A plus, or A minus. Kevin Stefanski had a C minus, which is the lowest you can go for a head coach. You hired a A plus, A minus, A head coach for a C minus head coach. Atlanta, you got some explaining to do too. You can't tell me Atlanta is not listed in one of these 25 teams, and why the NFL is not. I want to see the list. I want to see the list, and I want to see the files. I'm sorry. Yes, the FBI is on Haslem, and he got caught up in Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski is not out. No, he's not. And that's why I said it, and I'm going to say it again with my chest. That's why he don't want Dillon Gabriel with him in Atlanta, and he definitely don't want Jerry Jeudy in Atlanta, because he's trying to separate himself for a collusion, internal collusion that he set up in Cleveland. Why? If I committed a crime Why would I want the people to follow me to my next duty, my next head office, and you're the evidence? You think I want evidence following me? No. I said Kevin Stefanski is dumb, but he's not dumb in some senses. That's why he didn't pick up Dillon Gabriel and Jerry Jeudy. And I don't know if that was good for him or bad. Because if I was Jerry Jeudy or Dillon Gabriel, I definitely would be talking. And guess what? Just because they saying that 25 teams have been subpoenaed, that doesn't mean that players won't be questioned. What if somebody slid that case of all those complaints that the fans filed regarding Shedeur Sanders in this packet? And what if the NFL Department of Justice just want to meet with some of the players that's in this files? Hey, just in a very informal questioning. Hey, can you sit down for me a little bit? Hey, I read this and this in a particular email. Can you just answer a few things? What? Players will be talked to. Players will be talked to. Players will be talked to. Head coaches will be talked to. You can't tell me, especially in this Brian Flores case, you can't tell me that Jerod Mayo is not going to get questioned or interviewed by the Department of Justice just to get his side of the story. You can't tell me Raheem, am I saying his name wrong? Raheem Morris is not going to get questioned and get, his side of the story. And guess what? Even Kevin Stefanski is going to ask some question. Hey, how was your interview process? Arthur Blank, hey, so what made you fire Morris and bring in Stefanski when Morris had a better winning record over Kevin Stefanski? What was the factors in play? What told you that Kevin Stefanski was the best choice? Kevin Stefanski got hired before John Harbaugh. I never thought that I would have saw it ever in life. Matter of fact, Kevin Stefanski was the first fired coach to get hired for any team this year. I smell illegal hiring practices. Somebody got answers. Somebody finna get up with some answers. Hey, Miss Turner, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing, lady? I really believe the Steelers coach didn't decide to. Mike Tomlin. There will be some coaches. Listen, it will be some coaches, past and present, that also get questioned. And I don't have the legal term, but just to make it seem fair, if I was the Department of Justice, I would also talk to Mike Tomlin, say, hey, how was your hiring practice? Hey, what was asked of you? How did it go? Give me some feedback on the process that you went through. Just as a baseline. Oh, man. Man, they don't want me in there. Exactly. Eric Bohemian is who everyone keeps saying should be the head coach since he was the coordinator for Andy Reid's. So what is his position now? 420. And the Reid's Chiefs. There's money, big money in number one picks, something that is worth more than being in the. Look. The Rams. If this thing is going deeper, it's what I expected. Even the Rams would have to give at least some kind of evidence on why they probably even chose Ty Simpson to be a first-round pick when he only played 15 or started 15 collegiate games. Did he only play a start? I know he started 15. He probably even played 15 to 20 games. They gonna have to show proof of that. What put Ty Simpson over all these quarterbacks? And my question would be, what would put Ty Simpson over Taylor Green? You got to give me evidence. Listen, yeah, it's your decision, but please show me what factors played into this to make Ty Simpson a first-round draft. You got, if you're an equal opportunity employer, You got to show proof on why one player was hired, since they said that players are employees. You got to say, why was Ty Simpson hired over Taylor Green when Taylor Green got the better resume, even over Mendoza? The only thing that Mendoza got over Taylor Green and Shedeur Sanders is a national championship. If all players, NFL players, are employees. I almost said something. I almost said something. The Giants are nasty work. Ooh. Steve Tisch. Yes, Roland Martin branched out of his own after being, that's right, fired for being too. Yes. That's why he got his own show. Come on with it. They were why the Jets traded their whole team last year, and people want Browns to do the same, but didn't. Ain't nobody crazy. Oh, I do see that big head Dylan Gabriel down there too, man. And another reason was fired, he lied on Shedeur. That's right. And guess what? The ball. And that is the fool over there in the Tennessee Titans that said Carnell Tate, he won't be given anything. He got to earn something. Man, are you crazy? He really think that what Kevin Stefanski did in Cleveland Browns was actually a good thing. He's using some of that. He told Carnell Tate that everything he gets, he got to earn it. And he was a first rounder, the 4th pick overall. What? He was the giant scapegoat for blocking Flores. You notice the Bengals have consistently the worst draft spit the last least Scott. Two man. Don't be surprised if nothing much come out of this other than a few fines and a slap on the wrist. Oh, they better pay up. Government needs sports entertainments for distraction purposes. The NFL is built on taxpayers' money. That is a consideration. But I really think a lot more is going to come out. That's a consideration. That's a fair consideration. But it's time for all of this stuff to be exposed. They still need to go through, get fined. They need to give a compensation for everything they did wrong. And moving forward in the future, do better. But I hope they don't get off that easy. Bullseye. Bullseye. We shall see. Flores is a solid coach, just ended up in situations that you can't be competitive with, which is why he quit instead of being fired. Brian Flores is a very happy man right now, especially his legal team. 25 out of 32 NFL teams been subpoenaed. And you mean to tell me he has requested, his legal team has requested 1,000 documents that have to be turned over. I heard what you said, Black Diamond. But this update that came out 48 hours ago, this sapsucker is huge. 1,000 documents. Oh my gosh. I hope they fail and there's something in there that nobody hasn't caught. When the legal team start reading over the documents, oh my God, we got another violation. Here's the evidence right here. Oh my gosh. I think they're going to, that's why I think they're going to settle. Let me see what you said. This show is cooking tonight, Miss Tony, because you and what she says. What? Oh, God, listen. I know she go sniff on it. I know she was sniffing on it. Are the only ones talking about the other side of the NFL coin? They don't want the people to listen. But hey, I don't know why. ESPN has covered it. Their sports show. See, CBS. Listen, this thing has went on CBS. American, NBC, it's all over the place. I don't know why a podcast is not covering this. I don't know. This is federal. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see here. Remember the Giants leaked the false accusation and the ball. That's why he got fired. And Deion Sanders said he know exactly who put those rumors out there. But he didn't tell us. Of course, he can tell us. What she said, mission teaming up with Tony. I was going to tell the investors that I was gonna tell investors that there's a collaboration coming up. There's a collaboration coming up. Y'all, we gonna tear up YouTube. Oh, we gonna tear up YouTube. You gonna have two brilliant minds come together, and we're gonna be talking about stuff that nobody ever would even. Oh my gosh! Oh, we gonna tear up YouTube. We gonna tear up YouTube. We gonna tear up YouTube. Yeah. You let the cat out the bag, Mel. Brian Flores was Deshaun Watson. They do got a connection. Deshaun Watson coach when they put all the women on him and said he was. Okay, thank you for that hint. I'm gonna go back and look at that. Jalen Hurts is not the only. Jalen Hurts is the only black starting quarterback without a black quarterback backup. And listen, golly, that's what I know. My girl, what she said, sports. She is the first one. I'm gonna give it to her. She's the first one I ever heard that actually looked out, pulled out that map, did the homework, and she came up with that 17 of 32 starting black quarterbacks of the NFL. So I've heard big name channels talk about that and never gave her shout out. Anytime you hear anybody talk about 17 of 32, just know that came from what she said, sports. We're gonna tell. Oh my God, we're gonna. Ooh. I'm getting excited, y'all. But going back to the Cleveland Browns, yes, Dylan Gabriel gonna be on that practice squad. We got Deshaun, Shedeur, Taylor Green. I think if we win the games that we gonna win and start that playoff run with those three brothers, we're gonna go down in history for having three black quarterbacks with such a winning record. I don't think it's never been done before. So if we get to the playoff games, especially a good Super Bowl run, we going down in history. Three black quarterbacks ever. And then guess what, y'all? And then guess what? Once we make history that way, they gonna say no other team can have all three black quarterbacks. They gonna change the rules again. No team, they're gonna have winning records. They're gonna just have scoring fiascos. They just gonna break all kind of records this year. The NFL gonna say no team can now have three black quarterbacks back to back. Never again. I'm trying to tell you, y'all. The only way to fix these racist disparities before the feds to force the NFL to level the playing field with every right. That's why I think more is going to come. See, right now their ego is bruised. For them to say to even be subpoenaed and request to turn on these documents, they basically said this is unfair and punishable to even request us to be subpoenaed and also to hand over documents. Do you really know what subpoena mean? That means you gotta come to court. You gotta go to court, or you definitely gotta talk to federal agents. You gotta answer those questions. We talking about the owners. In my case, it would be the owners and the GMs and the head coach and the defensive coaches and the defensive coordinators. I would interview all of them. But me, I need to look this up too, because like I said, I ain't a lawyer. Wink, wink. This is entertainment purposes only. But to me, subpoena mean you finna walk into a courtroom. And hopefully a grand jury. And oh God, if they walk into a courtroom and a grand jury and a jury of their peers, whoever their peers is, and they say, yeah, we finna move forward, we gonna go, let this finna be a case, oh, the NFL will crumble. Oh yeah, the NFL will crumble. They will crumble. A lawsuit, they would do everything in their power to avoid that. And right now, they have the nerve to say this is punishably overboard. Being subpoenaed is punishably overboard, in quotations. This is what I said. The Broncos, the Texans, and the Giants, and the NFL. The NFL as a whole has said this is punishably overboard. Just by being subpoenaed and you got to turn over documents. Y'all, they telling on themselves. They are telling on themselves. They said just being requested and subpoena is punishable overboard. I had to get my tongue right. Punishable overboard. Just by being subpoenaed, they got that much stuff they don't want to come out, y'all. Basically, that's what it is. They got that much stuff they don't want to come out. Come on with it. Come on with it. Left for baseball. Now, did that make sense? Did that make sense? Even that 4-letter show was surprised when Paul DePodosta stepped down. They was like, what? Why? They was, and then they said something. They said, well, we ain't never really seen what it looked like anyway. Man, what I had Googled, that man was over there. I think he had a house in California. And over, God, shut up. Be quiet, Tony. Okay. Be quiet. Be quiet. Right. He came from the National Baseball League, came to Cleveland for whatever years he was over here, and then went back to baseball. Now, guess what? He should be questioned too. Because do you know what his role was for the Cleveland Browns? He was the chief strategic officer. According to what we heard, he was the one that was making all the decisions regarding the players, and I think the head coach. To me, he was the second in command under Jimmy Haslem. Oh, Lord, I just told on myself. I think he was second in command. So anything that Jimmy didn't want to do, Paul DePodosta was basically running everything. He was the chief strategic officer. And y'all, guess what? Do y'all even know who is the man that took his place? No. And that's how it should be. Andrew Berry should have been for them. Oh God, Jesus! Stop! I ain't gonna stop. I need to stop. Tony in the chat is going to once those investigation service for all of those top people who quit and was fired. Come on with it. Come on. Yes, CJ. Yes, CJ. Jimmy. Y'all, this thing right here. You can't tell me the Cleveland Browns and Atlanta Falcons is not listed. It's 25 of those teams. Denver does have a requirement for gambling issue. Denver does have a requirement for gambling issues to put out an injured report, but medical history is off. That's right, off limits. That's right too, man. The NFL logo cannot hide behind its meaning, the shield. That's right, it's cracking. No more protection. Everything shall be revealed while we continue to be in the age of Aquarius. Yes, 420. Everything is about to be exposed, and it is crumbling. Even the NFL, who is what, $300 billion entity, they better fix this. I say I want two things to happen. I want all the dirty laundry to come out, and I basically want all the games to be free for the next 10 to 15 years. Give it back to the fans. We should also be compensated too, because the NFL is allegedly, but you know what I mean. The NFL, they shouldn't be charging us all of these prices just to see a game. We should get compensated. The players should get compensated. Matter of fact, the players should get more information. How can a college student make more than NFL players? And they billionaires, multi-billionaires. And you're saying you're a multi-billionaire, but you're saying being subpoenaed and turning over documents, whatever requested documents, is punishable overboard. God dang. Boy, I wish I was a billionaire. Oh, they some sensitive jokers. I told you they sensitive and they egotistical. You're right, Tony. Jerry, Judy, and DG look like they're about to snap. Sanders defenders are like Magna. Pretty Ricky. Oh, we got one. Let him breathe. Do you really think that Sanders defenders are like Magna of black folks? The real dumb ones believe the bush. Okay. So what do you call the Department of Justice? Because the Department of Justice is actually investigating the Brian Flores case. So if you actually been listening to the live, and welcome to the room, because I know you had to subscribe to the channel. We've actually talking about the lawsuit and all the updates that came out regarding Brian Flores versus the NFL. We've talked about Shedeur Sanders maybe here and there just to give clarity. But since you came in here, I think Shedeur Sanders on what the NFL did to him last year, he was the missing key that Brian Flores needed to get this case off the ground. Hold on. You want to see my evidence? Y'all see that second thumbnail right there? Hold on. Came out 3 years ago. This video is only 2 minutes long. Hold on. If you don't think Shedeur Sanders, Black MAGA, if you don't think I'm hitting on anything tonight, listen to this right here. Why was it denied 3 years ago, but it got traction now? What has happened differently in the NFL that has gave Brian Flores lawsuit momentum? The only thing that has changed is Shedeur Sanders has entered the picture. And when they colluded against him and he slid down to the 5th round, the floodgates was open. Everything that had been locked under lock and key, next thing you know, everything started popping open. Let me go to play this clip right here. But thank you for your comment. Here it go. 3 years ago.
Brian Flores' request to obtain discovery before arguing against the NFL's attempt to take the case into arbitration. Flores sued the NFL and several teams for racial discrimination against minority executives, including himself. In a statement, Douglas H. Wigdord and John Elefakaris, Flores' attorney, stated, "We are confident that we will defeat the efforts of the NFL to move this matter into a private and confidential arbitration behind closed doors. It is obvious that the NFL is trying to hide behind the arbitration process and avoid public scrutiny of racial discrimination and retaliation claims we have brought. If they are confident in their defenses, they should let the process play out in court so the general public can see. The response to the motion is due to be filed by August 19th. The reply from the NFL and the teams that have been sued is due on August 26th. All right, folks, that's our whole untouchable video. Just
So 3 years ago, that motion for discovery was denied. But 2025, 2026, approved. But thank you so much for your comments. Pretty Ricky Danko. What's up, Mel? Thank you for that. Snapback. Pretty Ricky Danko. I think the NFL could have used Stefanski to sabotage Shedeur. I think the NFL could have used it. Yeah, easy. If he didn't, I put it like this: if Kevin Stefanski was not part of the collusion, he definitely added himself to the collusion because he got upset that Shedeur Sanders was drafted to the Cleveland Browns. We already know what Jimmy said. Was it? Yeah, last May. He said that was Andrew Berry's pick. He said that was Andrew Berry's pick. So if Kevin Stefanski, if he wasn't part of the collusion, he added himself to the collusion on how he treated Shedeur Sanders. And Pretty Ricky, you must have missed the part when I said that the NFL is an equal employer opportunity. You must have missed that. What they did to Shedeur Sanders was, you already know. Nah, Taylor Green, not better than Mendoza. You gotta be crazy, coach. Here you go, coach. Well, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised with coach. I'm not surprised. Black Diamond, you absolutely right. Hey, how you doing? Echo the media. A lot of funny money in the NFL. Not sure how much accountability. That's what we talking about. It's like in the E-files, them Eddie files. We shall see. I still got questions about that Eddie file. Of course, remember what I said? Steve Tisch did step down very quietly. He stepped down after the Eddie files. If the Eddie files came out in February, because I remember it was around Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh's birthday, so that was February. The draft was in April, so he stepped down in March. I think he stepped down in less than 30 days. Oh, guess what? He still should be questioned also. I don't care. You still should be questioned also. Question. Get him to the Department of Justice. Question him too. Come on with it. Somebody got to be accountable for this. I'm going to come back and bite him. Oh, it's going to come back and bite him in the butt trying to mimic. Oh, you talking about the ball? Yes, it is. Billionaires are all in the E-files. Yes. I did a video on that in February. The lawsuit will go to trial. Hey, I wanted to. Ooh, I wanted to. I don't want him to settle out of court. I want to hear all why Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns is just winning after game after game. Pretty Ricky, this for you. When Shedeur Sanders win first week, second week, third week, fourth week, fifth week, we're gonna be able to focus on that and focus on what's coming out in his NFL files. If you don't believe me, just stay subscribed so you can always come back to these lives and these videos and watch how we're gonna dissect. We have the mental capacity to focus on more than one thing and one in time. See, the media ain't thinking that. They thinking that we just focus on Cleveland OTAs. The devil is a lie. What? Yes. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And don't run away, Pretty Ricky Danko. We want everybody to voice their opinions. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking for it, man. I'm looking for it too. Yes, when he was in Houston, many frequent the same parlor and those same ladies. So I really, to be honest with you, y'all, I'm being transparent with y'all. Deshaun Watson, I know a little bit about him here and there. I only know about him now because he on the team with Shedeur Sanders. And as of right now, he may be QB1, he may be QB2. If Shedeur Sanders is QB2, I think Deshaun Watson. Y'all remember when Tony Grossi was talking about Shedeur Sanders' shadow being big and scary? Deshaun Watson, if he go out there as QB1, and even other people have brought this, big shows have said the same thing I'm finna echo and have echoed. How many weeks will he be quarterback one? Because he haven't been touched in 2.5 years. What's going to happen when he actually get defenders behind him? How long is he going to be out on that field? I don't want him to get hurt. But think about it. He's going to have to worry about running. And I saw his throw. I saw his throws to Concepcion today, and it was another player. It was that tight end Jack Stoles that we acquired in undrafted free agent. Deshaun Watson, I know that you haven't played in 2.5 years, but don't give away what receiver you're looking at. You shouldn't have been looking at Casey Concepcion for that many seconds. The defenders is going to read your eyes. You shouldn't have been staring. You should not have been staring down Stoles down the middle of the field. The defenders would have read your eyes. I'm sitting home and looking at your eyes, and I knew where you was throwing the ball. Deshaun Watson, it is the small mechanics you got to get abreast on. You got to freshen that up. Because if I saw that sitting in my home in Georgia, you don't think the defenders are going to be watching your eyes, and they know you rusty. They know, yeah, you may got the footwork, you got the throws, but it's the small mechanics. You got to get that under. You got to get that under control. You got to get that under control, Deshaun Watson. But good catch, Stoles and Casey Concepcion. Good catch. But you got to work on them eyes. You notice the Browns are stacking black quarterback. Hey, like I said, let them stack Deshaun, Shedeur, and Taylor. We get to the playoffs, and even with this winning record, even if I think they're going to go to the playoffs, win first game, second game, 2 playoffs. That means it's going to be the first time ever in history 3 black quarterbacks is on the same team with this winning record. I need to check that. I'm going to have that for you tomorrow. I think this is the first time they're going to get so far in the playoffs. First time 3 black quarterbacks, it will be on the same team. Hey, Pretty Ricky Danko, did you catch that? I hope you're writing that down. What's up, Donna C? What's going on, Donna C? Nola girl, yes, she does be on it. And she said, we can see the... Yes. Yeah. Listen, when me and What She Said Sports link up, man, it's going to be like Holyfield and Tyson in one ring, and we fighting against all the Shedeur Sanders haters and doubters. Man, we gonna be slanging right and left. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be, y'all know how I talk about that tag team between Shedeur Sanders and Taylor Green. Oh man, it's gonna be tag teaming. Investors, everybody's invited. The supporters, the haters, and the doubters, everybody's man. Oh my gosh, tag team. There's definitely collusion in the NFL. Yes, Pickaboo. What's going on, Pickaboo? You too. Come on with it. Hey, Pickaboo. And Patino, yep. We tried to give all 3 of them away in the package to Kevin Stefanski, and he denied. It. Make sure Roger could. We just talked about this either in the last live or in a members only. Roger Goodell, you're right. As the commissioner of the NFL, you should be, and I'm pretty sure he's the one that sent that memo out representing the NFL, saying and asking for these documents and being subpoenaed as Punishably, Overboard. Roger Goodell should be the very first person that they interview since you're the commissioner. Oh, Roger Goodell, did they really pay you enough? And this is why he said to Shedeur Sanders before he was drafted, I'm worried about your father. He said, I'm worried about your father. Shedeur Sanders said, why are you worrying about my dad for? And Roger Goodell just gave that little laugh. Roger Goodell knew. He knew. He knew. He's the commissioner. He's the commissioner. Come on, it's criminal. You're right. Criminal. You're right. Ty Simpson was the block. Thank you, Mel. Thank you with it. Come on with it, Mel. Come on with it. Players pay taxes different than regular. Yes, they do. Players pay taxes different. Yes, they do. In California, oh my gosh, David Njoku, when he them $8 million, David Njoku may walk away with 3, maybe 3.5, maybe. Man, them taxes over there in California, oh my gosh. Duty tax, jock tax, state tax, federal tax. Ugh. Pretty Ricky showing he's okay. Pretty Ricky's okay. Pretty Ricky, he got his answer. I would definitely be there for the collaboration. Come on with it. We just got to get together and get a date. Donna C, glad you're here. Yes, Donna C. Everybody, welcome Donna C back to the room. Welcome Donna C to the room. It's almost over. Sanders, however, doing everything right, getting better, reading faster, and not ready, and not playing distractions. Watch Watson not making it long season. Everybody was eating Jerry Jeudy up. I need to snip that regarding Jerry Jeudy. Yep, Roger Goodell knew exactly. Come on with it, Destin. The NFL has been operating with their own established rules and probably right. They've been faking the funk. They've been putting all of these policies in writing, the collective bargaining agreement in writing, and been doing anything they wanted to do behind the scenes. This thing is nasty, y'all. Come, man. No checks and balances. That's right. Mel. Cam Robinson, Joe, but yeah, gone. Just gone. Hello, Donna C. Now, let me go ahead and just read this article. Then I'm going to let y'all go. Let me go ahead and read this article from ESPN. Hold on. I think it'll be faster right here. Let me go ahead and read this right here. You know, but I want Cam Newton to talk about this. I want Nightcap to talk about this. I want the Arena to talk about this. I want Sports Centers to talk about this. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on one second. Brian, let me see what sport. Let me see if I can just randomly pull up a sports channel that's talking about this lawsuit update. Let's see here. Brian Flores. Okay. NFL on NBC. Let's play this. It's only 4 minutes. Let's go ahead. Play it.
It's the NFL. It was February 1 of 2022 that Brian Flores filed his initial lawsuit against the NFL, the Dolphins, the Giants, the Broncos. The Texans have since been added. Other former coaches, or Steve Wilkes. I don't know where Steve Wilkes currently is, but he has since coached following the filing of the lawsuit. Ray Horton is part of it too. This thing has been dragging through the question of whether and to what extent the case will be sent to the NFL's preferred forum of arbitration that it controls. And now, this comes from Daniel Kaplan, writing for Front Office Sports. Today, Flores is going to amend the case to include a retaliation claim based upon his effort to fight the league's what I call secret rigged kangaroo court of arbitration, because Flores has managed to get multiple courts to overturn what the league has been doing for years. And this is a key part of the league's in-house justice system. We control the outcome. It doesn't go to an independent arbitrator. We control it. Wouldn't it be great if every company, I mean, think about it. I've said this before, like if your prenup says any and all disputes that may arise in the confines of this marriage will be decided by me.
Yeah.
That's a great power.
Right.
If you can have it. So the argument is this, Chris.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
because he hasn't gotten another head coaching job.
Right.
The argument is you've continued to freeze me out, whether it's because I sued you for racial discrimination in the overall NFL workplace, or I've got a tiger by the tail on this retaliation or this arbitration, issue. So, it all gets down to why isn't he getting another head coaching opportunity? The Vikings continue to keep him. He's doing a great job.
Retaliation.
He hasn't gotten a fair shake in his mind to be a head coach. Is it race? Is it retaliation?
Retaliation.
Based upon
and race.
his filing of a racial discrimination lawsuit, or is it retaliation because he's managed to blow a gaping hole in the league's in-house arbitration process? That's now going to be part of this case, which is getting more complicated instead of simpler as it goes by.
Yeah, well, I think we all know that we feel that the NFL.
Let me pause it right there. It's only getting complicated because the NFL don't know what to do now because they didn't think it was going to have this type of traction. It's not getting complicated for Brian Flores' legal team. It's not even getting complicated for Brian Flores because based off what they just said, he was able to amend the lawsuit. The only people that is getting complicated for is the NFL because they got so much to cover up. They don't even have time to do their due diligence and cover up every hole and every 2026 exposure. It's about that time. It's about that time. What have they been doing behind the scenes that's making it complicated for the NFL? Whew. 2 more minutes.
NFL is one that will retaliate. That's for sure. I think everybody in the NFL feels that way. That's not like news to anybody. So, yeah, you wonder that, certainly. And you wonder that especially because you go, wait, this is hands down one of the best defensive coaches in football. When you talk to offensive geniuses and like that, they're going to bring up Mike McDonald and Vic Fangio and Steve Spagnuolo and Brian Flores. That's what's going to come out of the mouth of a lot of great offensive play callers and that. Oh, gosh, they're a pain in the butt to deal with. Oh, gosh. So, yeah, that's where you just wonder. And you don't know why he hasn't got that legitimate chance. And what's interesting, too, I think, on top of it, is that, he's got tremendous support, I think, throughout the NFL, too. Because, yeah, I think there's coaches and GMs and other people in front office that kind of like that he's kind of doing this and fighting back and bucking the system a little bit.
Everybody that's melanated and maybe even Caucasian is happy that Brian Flores has stepped up and he's moving forward. Everybody is happy. They know what they was doing, and maybe behind the scenes, maybe it has been other people that has been put in place to actually do these acts, and they tired of doing wrong and corruption. In their minds, some of them people are probably tired of doing wrong. Hate and evil and wrongdoing is tiring. The people that's actually doing, God, I want to talk.
And then, of course, he's respected so much in coaching circles in the front office because of the way he coaches and does that. So it's weird where I could see owners in 345 Park like, oh, I don't like this guy. But he's got support, I think, from a few owners and a lot of other real football people.
Come on.
That's what makes the whole dynamic very interesting.
Hey, I wonder at one point the Wilfs start getting a little subtle nudge like you're legitimizing this guy. You're employing this guy. This guy speaks for you. And look at all this havoc he's creating for us. And if you don't think the NFL has retaliatory motives from time to time, you don't know anything about American business. It permeates American business. And it permeates the top of our government. We go after our enemies and we support our friends. That's what we've seen play out over the last couple of years. So what a shock that other businesses in this country would think it's perfectly okay to go after those that you perceive don't like you or that you don't like. That's the American way now. Didn't used to be, but it is now. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PF.
Thank you for that, Mike Florio. Hey, Pretty Ricky, Danko, did you hear that? And they're not even Shedeur Sanders supporters. I wouldn't even be surprised if Shedeur Sanders is not even called to the stage or the stand or get subpoenaed or just questioned. Hey, how was your interview, process. Remember last year, it was all about Shedeur Sanders. He interviewed improperly. Y'all, what if those documents have also been subpoenaed? For every team that interviewed Shedeur Sanders. Matter of fact, let's see Shedeur Sanders interview records. Let's see Ty Simpson interview records. Cam Ward. Who else? Give me those process. Hey, let's just make it fair. Mendoza, Tyson. Who else? Simpson, Taylor. Put everybody interview process right here. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. They don't want this information to come out. Keep pushing. Brian Flores and whoever's the head of your legal team, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Come on, I ain't gonna hold you long. Already had an hour and a half. There's a state government people involved in the NFL cartel. God, you darn right. Cartel. I hope it goes public. Me too. And when they said, not a Shedeur Sanders supporter, when they said that Brian Flores has supporters, GMs, and people, very significant people in football that's supporting this, I said people is getting tired of doing wrong just so they can keep their job. Some people is not sleeping at night because they know how many people they have hurt and misused in the NFL. They said they glad that Brian Flores is moving forward. He had enough courage to step out on this. People is tired of doing wrong. But we already know it's some type of, there's a few people that like doing wrong. Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, I called out his name. The Titans are about to run the game on Ward and Tate. The Titans are about to run the game on Ward and Tate. I'm here in Nashville. The Titans are treacherous. Well, you know what they did to Cam Ward last year. Coach come in to disrupt. Let's see here. Ty Simpson, Ram head coach, was pissed for the We didn't forget that. We didn't forget that. Look, Sean McVay is still mad. He's still, don't say he was about to say, Donna, he's still mad. Pretty Ricky, at least you admit MAGA is dumb and believe him. It's not everything. Thank you for that, Justin. He didn't know he said his own. He said MAGA up. Ain't nobody checking for Mendoza overhyped. I want to see his record. I want to see how he interviewed. Mendoza got drafted by the Raiders. I think the Raiders even interviewed Shedeur Sanders last year. Let's just do a comparison. I want to see a comparison of the questions, of the schemes, of the playbooks they gave the players to evaluate and say, hey, what do you see wrong in this play? What did you see over here? I want to see the comparisons of all the players. Did they give Shedeur Sanders a harder test? Was it trick questions? And then they give Mendoza anything or just say, hey, just play the game. Just sit in here. We're going to laugh, drink, laugh, smoke, not smoke, but you know what I mean. Just sit back, kick back. This is just formality. You good. Just sit back. Oh, I want to see the documentation. I want to see the documentation. Let it go to public. You know why? Because even as citizens, we are stakeholders as public citizens, okay? Green is a monster athlete, big, strong, talented, but he isn't skilled as Mendoza or Ty Simpson. He has hitches and is an intercept machine. Listen, we done talked about Ty Simpson. The only reason Ty Simpson looked the way he looked, he didn't have an O-line like Shedeur Sanders. Taylor Green, hold on, I mean Ty Simpson. The only reason Ty Simpson has this right here, these faults against him, he didn't have an O-line. This year, we're going to see what Taylor Green looks like with an O-line. I agree with you. We went over the PFL. I pulled it up. Everybody saw the PFL. But it also said he didn't have an O-line. Bobby Petrino, he didn't have an O-line. We even went over the video with John Gruden. John Gruden even said, Taylor, if you would have just had a better O-line. They say John Gruden said Taylor Green was so good, but if he would have had an O-line, he would have been in the running for the Heisman. What are we talking about? John Gruden said that. We already know what Emory Hunt said about Taylor Green. Now all of a sudden, everybody know Taylor Green. Everybody know Taylor Green now. Everybody know Taylor Green. He is interesting because he's big, strong, and everything Gabriel can never be. He is interesting because Talon is just Talon. Talon is Talon. That's why he's interesting to me. They're going to be mad. Watson was always a talented QB. He's just slow reading defense and took too many sacks. Watch when the defense could. Well, I hope he's a lot faster. I would definitely be there for the collaboration with what she says for us. Yes. Okay, that was some of the chats that I missed earlier. Let me go down here. Njoku is really enjoying the weather now. California. Don't do that. Don't do that, Destin. Destin, don't do that, Destin. We talked about that too behind the scenes. Slightly, though, to trade Judy, you would have to feed him the ball. And he has to hold on to the ball and not drop it. He has to look good. I think the Sean contract is. Oh Lord, Cam Robinson. Yes, big baby Cam Robinson. He's gone. Retaliation, discrimination. That's right. And he had the ability to amend. So I'm pretty sure, based off the retaliation and based off the time that has lapsed, I'm pretty sure. I hope he has increased punitive damages. And I hope he has requested compensatory damages. I hope he has just crossed out 100 million and increased it up crazy amount. 400 billion, 405 billion, 6 billion. Just get it all. Just get it all. They got the money. They got the money. Become a billionaire, Brian Flores. I think you're thinking too low. Go ahead and hit that mark. 900 million, 1 billion. Just go ahead. Just become a billionaire. Them dirty lungs is getting ready to be shown. Come on with it. Come on with it. If I was Flores, I would have gone down to college coach there for years like Munkin and win a national, coming back to the NFL. Well, we shall see. He has been blackballed. I think when they showed Shedeur treatment, everybody, listen, it's documented on a national stage and a global stage on how they did Shedeur Sanders. NFL is a monopoly, and there is no strong, real way outside of the court to hold their feet to the fire. We shall see. We shall see. And that could be true. That could be true. But that means that the evidence, they still got to turn over evidence, and they're going to have to pay something. They're going to have to pay something. And if they continue after this foul, guilty in this, guilty, retaliation, guilty in discrimination, what? Once you take that money from them, they go buckle a little bit. And if they don't get their act right going forward, guess what? Another lawsuit. They got to pay out of that, especially if it's documented and evident. If they want to continue these practices, just go ahead and start getting ready to face legal consequences on an annual basis. So you're right. They are a monopoly. But if Brian Flores come out of this thing successful, they better tighten up. Because this is going to open the floodgates for other cases. Everybody's just sitting back, just waiting to see what's going to happen. What's up, Elaine? Tony, what's the should leak out of his sports salon? Sports salon. Watson be the one. Watson. Wasn't he the one said something about Coach Prime talking to the coach? Oh no, Donna. They are sued. They force arbitration, they would pay for and control to keep things when they're going to court. And when they do, it's bias against everyone because But my thing, if they settle, so let's just say even if they settle, and then I'll let y'all go, investors and viewers, even if they settle, I would say that's a win. And guess what? If I had a grievance against the NFL, well, they settled with Brian Flores. I'm going to file my suit too. Are they going to settle with everybody? We shall see. Because if you settle for one, and I know I got evidence too, I'm finna file my motion too. I'm finna file my lawsuit. Shedeur name is going to be mentioned because of the prank call. And I definitely need to look into the pages of the actual discrimination to see if it mentioned black quarterbacks. I think what she said, Sports also mentioned that, and I could be wrong, but I think she mentioned that also his lawsuit also mentioned the treatment of black quarterbacks in the NFL. And if that's in there, oh my gosh, they can't say nothing because of what Shedeur Sanders went through last year. As a Shedeur Sanders supporter, glazer, whatever y'all want to call us, just because it was nationalized and televised, that was undeniable evidence. They got an answer for that. Needs to be investigated for the prank call. Trust me. Yes. My opinion is unpopular, but I said roll with why. Oh, Mel. So Mel, you haven't been in those lives. We came to that conclusion, I think, last night or 2 lives ago. Let him go out there. Wide receiver 1. I'm going to say quarterback 1. Let him go out there. Test that old line. Test those new wide receivers. Go ahead. Go for it. Shedeur Sanders be sitting right there as QB2. We know for sure this year, Shedeur Sanders is QB2. Undeniable QB2. Watson is going to worry about those defenders, and Shedeur Sanders is up next. So, Mel, we have massaged that a little bit. We come up with some agreements. Let Watson go out there. If they want Watson to go out there and start, go ahead and start. Shedeur Sanders is right there, breathing out his neck. We already know Shedeur Sanders is going to play. But thank you for that, Mel. Ask Money Man and out all about this. I need to go back and watch that video too. That Ty Simpson Rams draft was an act of benefit for his quarterback, because afterwards it came out that Ty knew and talked to the coach before and was asked God dang, too, man. I knew that his father knew the head coach or the GM, which is why no, they didn't know Sean McVay. Ty's father knew the owner or the GM, which is why he got drafted. Cam Newton bust that out. So imagine what Shedeur is going to look like because he didn't have an O-line. Right. So imagine, right. Shedeur Sanders is about to be elite. I mean, oh my gosh, he's about to tear this up. And Taylor Green. Rams have a QB wifey So what's she saying, too, man? I'll tell you what, just drop a name in the chat and I'll do my homework tonight. What is the wife? Rams have a QB wifey problem and she is cray-cray and Rams can't. Please drop her name in there so I can do some research tonight. I definitely want to look her up. I bet Haslem and James Woods has had some words big time and told him to slow his roll and watch what he says. They know this thing with Watson is not going to pay. Come on with it. I'm sure he will. Come on with it. Listen, Claire, you're right. CJ, you're right. And guess what? Since that time that I found out who James Wood was maybe 2 weeks ago, we haven't heard nothing else from. Have you heard anything else from James Wood? Do you see the power that we? Have you heard anything? If you heard something from James Wood, just put it in chats. If and when the NFL settles first, they require a non-disclosure. You know that, God. But if they settle, that is at least public knowledge. That means anybody that got a grievance against the NFL, that would be your time to strike. As of right now, if I was you, if you had a grievance against the NFL, start talking to a lawyer now. So when it is settled, or if it moves forward to actually be a court trial, please have your legal team go ahead and drop your own lawsuit. This is the time where you need to start getting a legal team of your own, a lawyer of your own, so you can piggyback on this. Don't let this lose steam. Piggyback. If you ever have a grievance with the NFL, this is the time to strike while the walls are very weak. And you know why the walls are weak? It's because they see this as punishably overboard. Oh my, this is the time to strike, y'all. This is time to strike. More stuff gets covered up. Think how bad options for Watson and went two man. Matthew and Kelly Stratford. Oh, she has a podcast. Thank you for that. I need to start. And also, y'all, do y'all see what, how can I say it? This particular platform, I think they got all of us in a silo. Why do I say that? I think they got us in a silo. I think we're in one basket somewhere out here on this platform land. And I really think they want us to be divided and conquer versus spreading our content across this platform. So thank you for that too, man. I didn't even know that. I think they keep our channels away from a certain subset. And I think they keep their channels away from another subset. So I thank you for that too, man. Too, man, you found this channel and all the other investors. You found this channel in perfect timing. Thank you too, man. Let me write this down. There is a reason for everything. Thank you. Thank you for that. Hey. I'm not getting distracted by no OTAs. Anybody will talk about the OTAs tomorrow, okay? Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I'm still waiting on Shedeur interview takes. Come on, bring them out. Come on with it. Come on with it. Kelly has been a long time stirring up drama. Matt has issues with a former backup hitting. Oh. Yes, they do, Donna. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I think they just got us in different sections of the platform, but it's okay. It's okay. They don't want us cross-pollinating. Hint, hint. So, Vestas, let me check my slides. I think that's it. Oh, here's some information about the case. And I'm going to let y'all go, Vestas. Let's say, what slide is that? The summary of the case. This is a class action lawsuit alleging race discrimination in the National Football League hiring of coaching staff. On February the 1st, 2020, 2022, a former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, who has been fired by the Dolphins and then rejected from other coaching jobs, filed a class action complaint in the U.S. District Court of Southern District of New York against the NFL, the Dolphins, the Giants, and the Broncos. Flores, who is black, put forth evidence that he was subject to sham. Then, of course, he got cut off. All right, then you see the summary authors. You see the people. You see the judges. What else? You see the details, cause of action. It's Title 42, United States Code, 1981 state law. You see the other dockets. Y'all take a screenshot of this. Available documents, outcome, issues, general pattern of practice, retaliation, discrimination areas, disparage impact, disparage treatment, hiring in sports. What else? Take a screenshot and here we go. This right here. And two, man, thank you for giving his name last night. Jerod Mayo was fired from the New England Patriots on January the 5th, 2025, just hours after the conclusion of his long season as head coach. They gave him one season, a losing team from Bill Belichick, and they only gave him new hires. Maybe the cap was the salary was $20 to $30 million. When Mike, Braville, I forgot what his name is. You know what I'm talking about. He's the one that got caught up in that scandal. When he came in, the hiring coaches and all the players they gave him, it equaled up to about $200 million to $300 million worth of dollars. That's what they did in 1 year. Let me see. The decision came following a dismissal of 4 to 13 seasons that resulted in the Patriots securing the 4th overall pick in 2025 NFL draft. Owner Robert Kraft made the announcement, calling it one of the hardest decisions he ever had to make. I call Cap. No, you didn't put nothing. You didn't give him nothing to be a winning coach that year. You basically gave him the same players that Bill Belichick couldn't win with. That is a straight lie. Robert Kraft, he need to be called for investigation also. He need to be interviewed. OTAs is a fun football, nothing going on. Right. This right here, this is still voluntary. All the players are not even there. Now, mandatory mini camp, what is that? June the 5th? Because I know the last day is the 11th. I think it's June the 5th or June the 8th. That's when it's going to be most important. This right here is just, you're right, fun. All the players is not in. Myles Garrett is not even there. They playing with us. See, the Cleveland media, I ain't going to say nothing. Okay, I'm officially tipsy. My vest is tight. You are absolutely correct. Only one person doesn't understand what's happening. Hint, hint. Why just Steve? Why just his time maybe. The Browns will owe him money to 2028 right now. Oh yeah, 90 million besides 6 million. Yep. And I think Money Man also said that also. Oh, the Browns, yeah. If he has a contract past June when the number goes up to 65 million. Wow. See, so I have not watched that movie because when the trailer came out, y'all, and if and it's nothing else. So all the other viewers, investors, if you want to leave the room, hey, thank you so much for coming over here. To all of my silent investors, to all of my members, y'all are showing out. Thank you so much for subscribing and becoming members. So thank you so much. So I understand it's almost about to hit that 2-hour mark. So totally understand. We'll talk about 2 more minutes now. So thank you. I'll come back tomorrow night. Let me make sure that's all of my slides because I want to stay right here. That's all of my slides. Now, to be honest with you, of course, you know what the title, the trailer looked like for that particular movie, and it turned me off. Okay, it definitely turned me off for what I saw in the movie. To me, I didn't want to see that. I didn't even want that in my spirit. To me, it just looked like a little too demonic for my taste. But some people have broke it down to where everything is supposed to be symbolism or he was dreaming or whatever. So to be honest with you, Blank Alice, I haven't had the strength or I haven't decided to watch that movie. I think somebody else brought up that movie last night in the live. I may just have to go out and look at people that have broken down the movie just to see if I could tolerate it. But I know exactly what it is. I heard some things about the movie, so I don't know. I may change my mind, but thank you about that, Blank Alice. That's why he has to be released before next. Thank you for that, Two Man. Two Man, who are you, Two Man? How did you find me, Two Man? How did you find me? I bet this is an alias. Y'all. Hey, what's going on, Rob Man? We're about to end, but please go ahead and rewind this live. Had me over here sweating. I saw the trailer. Donna C. Thanks for the clarity. Yes, Two Man, who are you? It was the money. Yes, it was, Lord. We enjoy it, T. We enjoy your spirit. Good work, good show. The work you put on this show. Listen, who are you, Two Man? Who are you? I'm watching y'all. All right, investors. So, hey, is that it? Listen, hold on. Gosh. Hold on one, y'all. I just want to see if punitive damages and compensatory damages can be amended after a lawsuit has been filed. And then I'll let y'all go. I just need to ask this question. Because if Flores has amended the lawsuit, he should be able to amend punitive damages. Be amended. All right. Y'all, yes, of course, this is AI. Yes, a punitive damage. Yes, punitive damages amount can be amended, but only under specific legal circumstances and procedures. So I'm thinking if Brian Flores was able to amend the lawsuit in totality, I think he has the right to amend punitive damages. He was able to add retaliation. That's a whole nother violation of workplace codes, workplace hostility. Come on with it. Amending, and an award generally involves one of three scenarios: amending a complaint pre-trial, which he did, before a final verdict is reached. A plaintiff, which is Brian Flores, can formally request to add or modify a punitive damage claims. This requires filing a motion to amend the pleadings. The court will only grant this if you can provide evidence of a reasonable likelihood of proving willful misconduct, fraud, or malice. I don't need to read the other scenarios. Just based off that alone, Brian Flores, I hope your legal team, they know more than me. I'm not a lawyer. Wink, wink. This is only entertainment purposes only. Based off that scenario, you should be able to go ahead and modify your punitive damages. $100 million should be out the window. Go ahead and eat them up. Brian Flores, let me tell you one thing. If I was you, I would at a minimum, a 700 million. Or just go ahead and be bold. Since you stepping out there and this thing moving forward, just go ahead and say a cool billion. A cool billion. Even if they settle out of court, you'll definitely go ahead and get more than 100 million. If you don't know what I'm talking about, always go higher. Always go higher. Go as high as you can. Because you never know. You may get out of it more than what you first would have went with. Come on, catch what I'm putting. Ooh, I promise you I'm not a lawyer. I ain't no lawyer. Yes, it can be amended. You know what? Let me get out of here, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna read these chats though. I couldn't watch it either. I tried. So why did you suggest that to me? Why did you suggest that to me? I tried to watch it, but I couldn't get past the opening. It's just that deep. You couldn't get. Nah, we good there. I'll just go on YouTube and find some other movie critics and podcasters and see what their review was. Yeah, I let me see. Oh, hold on, I want to see right here. 2-man. You showed up live, and I follow a lot of Brown podcasters. Follow D and G Bush. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, thank you for that too, man. Ooh, wee. I ain't messing with you. I hope you and Nola girl bring up the set. You know we gonna do that, and I'm gonna come up with my theories of what's going on behind the scenes. I already said that in so many lines, but we got so many new vessels and viewers. You know, they probably haven't watched everything. Oh, all I'm gonna put it, if it was me, what I still would be doing in the background, because Shedeur Sanders in 2 years and Pretty Ricky is what they call him. I hope you're still in here. In 2 more years, Shedeur Sanders is going to get that second NFL contract. And if they don't give me what I want, I got evidence. God, yes. Ooh, wee. Tony in the chat first. What's up, Shemaine? Hey, 2-man. Okay, 2-man, you got some friends coming in here. Hey, welcome. 2-man, no doubt, this time with the Dolphins was hostile. And they pressured him to lose game. $100,000. Get out of here. Wow, $1 billion they got. Yeah, they got it. They got it. They worth what? $250 to $300 billion. They got it. Them other people will step up and speak out. Yes, this is the time to strike. For anybody that got a grievance against the NFL, this is the time to strike. Because after they settle, they're going to get with their own legal teams. How can we avoid this in the future? For anybody that has a grievance for the NFL, this is the time to strike, allegedly. I got to put out there, allegedly. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I promise you. This is the time to strike. Just pretend like this live is just a movie. Just out of fantasy. This is the perfect time to strike. Allegedly. Entertainment purposes only. Imitated. Entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. And that's it, y'all. Big Snacks, you know the game. Okay, gotcha. All right, Vessels. So I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we get to talk about the fun stuff. We'll go back to OTAs. We'll get to see something. And let me tell you one thing. Mike McCarthy for the Steelers, he had the nerve to throw shade at the Cleveland Browns. He said they got 4 quarterbacks that they all love. When did the Cleveland Browns say they didn't love? I tell you what, maybe he's talking about the Cleveland Browns media. Maybe that's what he's talking about. But Mike McCarthy threw shade, and he said they got 4 quarterbacks in the quarterback room, and they love all of them. Ooh, maybe he was throwing shade to the media. But I'll bring that up tomorrow. All right, investors. So until next time, make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested up over here 365 degrees. That's 24 hours. At Tony Talks, Vested Up, Compelling Sports Hedge. All right, investors, tomorrow is Friday. Oh, and also, investors, members only. I was going to do a live tonight, but I kind of figured this was going to go late. So members only live tomorrow is tomorrow after the 7:45 live. Okay, so it's 2 lives tonight, the regular live and then the members only live. So hey, make sure you write down your notes. Members only, please come. I'm gonna ask you if you want to come to the stage. I'm gonna supply a link. Come to the stage, talk to me so I can talk to you. You know how we get down over there. We get down. It's closed session. Closed session. All right, investors. I'll see you tomorrow at 7:45. But just in case I need to modify the time, I'll move it up 1 hour to 6:45, just in case Coach Dre is going live tomorrow, because I like to support his channel like he support mine. So just watch out for the notification. It's either going to be 6:45 or 7:45, 6:45 or 7:45. All right, investors. I'll see you tomorrow. All right.